buck baker from the streets to Amazon in under a year. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. I'm the crazy flippin' mom, and today we are breaking down the costs to have a monthly seller account, what that looks like specifically if you are new to the game, to kind of give you an idea of how much you really need to set aside for the fees, what's normal, the extensions, the tools, everything. So let's get into it. Okay, before you sign up for an Amazon account, there are tons of free resources online to really go through the fees, what's included, terms of service, what style you should be selling before you even sign up to know if this is the right time. And you'd be surprised how many people I tell, I don't think it's the right time. It takes a considerable amount of time and money, brain power to really get this off the ground. It is not fast money. I think Facebook Marketplace, eBay, great fast money places. Amazon is going to take a while, and there's going to be probably more loss before you gain at the beginning. So wow, all of that, and we just started. I wanted to show you, if you go to Google, sell on Amazon, you will see a bunch of resources from Amazon. This is their website. You can see sign up here, and you can go through, I think I saw a blog about selling books, different types of styles and ways to sell on Amazon in terms of service. And if you go over to pricing, I really like their breakdown of the two different ways you can sell on their platform. Individual is going to cost you 99 cents a sale. Professional is $40 a month. Now, both of these also have fees you do not see right now. It is between 8 and 15% on top of this for every sale, depending on the price you sell it at, depending on the category, a lot of little hidden things, depending on if you fulfill the order yourself, merchant, or if Amazon is fulfilling the order for you. But if you're considering, should I sign up for an individual account so I don't have the $40 overhead at the beginning, it has this great breakdown of what you do not get. And here's what I think. If you're going to do Amazon, you need a professional account. You need a bunch of services and add-ons and softwares that you can really only use with a professional account. For me, when I look at the difference here, the biggest feature missing for an individual account is you cannot offer free shipping. So when you go to see your offer live on Amazon, it'll have a breakout of what the shipping would be on top of the price. And we all know how much people love free shipping. So take that into consideration. Although you can open an individual account and then upgrade and downgrade. I don't know what the lag is between that. If you can upgrade immediately and then downgrade, I'm guessing at the end of your pay month there. But I do think this is a great resource to go through what's expected if you do jump into this world of reselling. Amazon expects you to behave like they behave. And I actually think they want more from you, right? So it's good to just understand that before you get into the deep end of what all does that mean. A lot of times when I talk to new Amazon sellers, I say don't jump into Amazon if you do not have $1,000 to lose. That's not because you're gonna necessarily lose $1,000, but you need startup cash. And I think it's important to have the understanding that you may lose that money because that happens. When I purchase inventory, I sometimes make bad purchases, send it into Amazon, and then it's a total loss. The listing gets tanked out, the price drops. So I think it's good just to have the idea that you're not investing milk money or some sort of rent money in this, that you actually have the money that you don't need for next month, that you could set aside and invest in this. That being said, I want to talk about some real life expenses, what I think is a number that you really need to have right now before you sign up with that account. We can sign up for an Amazon account for $40 a month, but that's without buying anything. That's without buying inventory. So you're already looking at, I can imagine as a new seller, you're thinking, like, okay, I have $40, but is that it besides inventory? Well, no. So I've talked about this before on this channel, but as soon as you get approved to sell on Amazon, the next hurdle is getting ungated to sell in any category. Amazon really limits what you can sell on the platform to some basic paper, party supplies, paperware. Is paperware a word? Plasticware is. Let's see what else. Some art supplies. but they give you very little wiggle room unless you get ungated. Typically, you open an account at like Frontier Co-op, purchase grocery products, 10 units, submit the invoices, you get ungated in grocery. And you don't have to do that necessarily for every brand, but you do have to do that for most of the categories. Then even some of those brands, you will have to pay to play, basically. You have $40 in for the Amazon account, and then I average about $300 to get ungated in a couple categories. Now, you can start in this and probably with $100, $150, get ungated in grocery. I think grocery is a fantastic place to start selling in. You can get relatively a lot of product for cheap. A lot of the grocery items are not returnable. We all need groceries. It's a reliable replenishable for me. So if you are wondering where to start, I say go for grocery, get ungated in grocery. But for the sake of this call, maybe you want to jump in and get ungated in grocery and Nike and toys. So then you're looking at how much money do I need to set aside to purchase at least 10 units to get those invoices and submit. The next tool for me that's a non-negotiable is Paid Keepa. It is an industry standard. It is what we're all using to decide if this product is a good purchase, and you're pulling data history, you're looking at charts. I think you really have to invest, and Keepa is only $20 a month. It is an extension on your computer, and there's also an app on your phone. I think it's really necessary. I actually have a small tutorial on my last video and I show what Keepa charts look like. I think it's really important investment to scale Amazon and really to make educated buying choices. So right now we are at $360 you're not gonna have the recurring fee of ungating every month. So really we're at $60 a month. That's not bad. The next couple things I'm looking at are really dependent on you and where you're at. Some people like community. I have a community called Crazy Flippin' Mom. It is meant to help you start and scale Amazon, especially if you want to do the retail arbitrage, online arbitrage method, which is where you source from stores either online or in person, like Menards, Walmart, Target, and then you send those into a warehouse to sell. So community is another factor that has been really important for me. It is, most communities run between $50 and $100 a month. And here's what I would say if you do jump into a community. Make sure before you jump in that they are selling and they're creating the content and education resources to help you sell in the way you want to. And if it doesn't, if you take a course, it's really no one's problem but your own for not really seeing this style. There's a lot of people teaching wholesale and private label. And so that would be a real disappointment to invest in something like that for myself. Or shoes, Funko Pops, more collectibles. That's another group community that wouldn't help me specifically. So before you jump in, maybe ask questions, look at the content they provided, resources, and make sure it's a perfect fit for you. Once again, the next couple things are optional. However, I will say every month in fees for me, I'm sitting about $250 between communities and Seller Central and Keepa and all those little things. I probably pay about $200 to $250 a month. And then every once in a while, I will test out something like RevSeller, Seller Amp, which is another extension you can use on Amazon. The extensions and tools here are endless. So you don't have to have them all. Usually you have one that works perfect for you. I would say start small. I like to every year get into a free plan or like pay month to month for something I haven't used before. And this is how I've used most of what's out there. I will just download it for a month and then see, is this actually helping my business? So after all that, I have extensively used like Jungle Scout and in Tactical Arbitrage, which are great, but I go back to my core, which is Keepa and Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab is a software tool that is $70 a month, and I create my FBA shipments in Inventory Lab, and all of those numbers are saved in the bookkeeping feature of that platform. So it does do a lot. It also has Scoutify, and that is a whole nother software that's included. It's an app on your phone. and you can scan items in a store and it will show you how profitable it is. And you can set parameters before you shop. So when you scan an item, it'll give you a thumbs up, thumbs down if it's something that fits your parameters. And I really like that feature too. So Inventory Lab is one that I started years ago and I've grown with it. It's grown with me. I like the bookkeeping side of it. It will break down your numbers because it connects straight into your Seller Central account. So you can see kind of real time where your fees are, your returns. Seller Central is not great at breaking down those numbers for you. It can be confusing. So a lot of people tend to, not everybody, use a third-party service that plugs in and pulls those numbers for either your bookkeeper, CPA, or for yourself to monitor what's happening in your Seller Central account. Last but not least, we have Repricers. So once you get a good inventory, a good catalog on Amazon, FBA, and even merchant, you may not be able to keep up with repricing your products. In general, Amazon is not a list it and forget it platform. You really do have to fight for the buy box at times, especially if you're finding something that's just really popular. You have to kind of adjust your price here and there to edge in. And so a lot of people have those repricers hooked up and ready to fight tooth and nail to get the buy box. So I use Aura. It has been my go-to. I find it simple for me. And with a couple of clicks, I have it up running, connected to my Seller Central account. You have several options if you search Repricer online, but Aura has been the go-to for me. One last thing about Aura is you can pay monthly or annually, and there is a discount if you pay for the annual, but otherwise you're looking at about $100 a month. So for me right now, if I add up my expenses, I have my Repricer at $100, Inventory Lab is at $70, and I have Keepa and Seller Central. Did have to use a calculator because that's just me. So my monthly expenses for the bare bones of what I need to run my business over there is about $280, give or take. And those are the tools and also I use RevSeller. I didn't think I included that. I'll include that below. I want to say it's $15-ish. It's an extension that runs on Amazon. So many freaking extensions. So maybe closer to $300 for my monthly expenses. That's a lot, okay? But I do want to give you a realistic look when you jump into this. I see people sometimes sharing the bare bones, like get the individual plan that's 99 cents. Well, can you be competitive? Can you actually see what's possible on Amazon with the individual account? Not really. And so getting that $40 professional, and also I want to say this is not an MLM. I do not get a kickback when you I don't have a link to send you for the professional account. I'm just giving you my opinion. I'm looking about $300 for my monthly expenses. Your first month on Amazon could be closer to $500 depending on how quickly you want to ungate in categories. That being said, if you could do this on bare bones, so I would pick Seller Central and Keepa. That would be the bare bones. You have to have Keepa, you have to have your Seller Central account, and that's $60 a month. And you can create FBA shipments in Seller Central. In recap, I wanted this to be a realistic look. So if you are considering signing up in 2024, what should you have set aside for those monthly expenses that you really need? Amazon is not quick money, but the possibility to create substantial, consistent money is there. And that's why I always go back to it. You can sell what makes sense for you. I can create shipments from home. It's definitely not for everybody. But if you are interested to jump into this world of Amazon and you have some time and some money set aside to make it happen, I would 100% recommend giving it a try. I think a good plan for this year would be to jump in now and really understand the tools, how you can sell, where you're gonna make your most money, and get set up for a successful Halloween Q4, which is where we all hope to bank. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking the time. I hope this realistic look at the boring numbers behind the scenes is helpful at making the decision if today's the day to make the jump or you need to wait. And I always say Amazon isn't going anywhere. So if you decide to wait, it'll be here when you're ready. Thank you for watching. I'm sending you all my love. Cheers.